Bitcoin. So the price of a Bitcoin has gone up by 10 times in the past 1 year. So no wonder this is a really big topic that we have been talking about in the recent days. So is Bitcoin a good investment tool for longer term investment or shorter term investment like speculating? So in this video, we'll talk about its future in both long term and short term. Of course, in short term, we'll look at charts and using with the support of technical analysis. Hopefully, you will have a better sense of what its future is, and then we will better prepare what our investment portfolio and what should we prepare. And also we'll share 4 ways in investing in Bitcoins. That's something that not many people outside will talk about. They just assume us already know that where we should buy Bitcoins, but it's not really there's no videos or no contents about the consolidated places that we can invest in Bitcoins. So I'm Greg. So if you're new to our channel, please subscribe to the channel right now, and also hit the notification button. So, and also you can like our Facebook page. The name is Gregory C, which is my name. And as long as we have videos and contents coming up, you will be one of the first one who will watch and see this content. And also, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and also share to your friends, because this is something that we always ask, but I cannot really find any better and quality content, the content about investing in Bitcoins and its futures. Okay, so it is really an attractive topic about Bitcoin. So I will make you another video about what is Bitcoin, right? But now this video is about analyzing this future of Bitcoin, and also where should we invest if we want to invest in Bitcoins, right? So Bitcoin is a virtual currency. A little bit background is something like it's a computerized currency that whichever you will have the supply is only going to decrease, so the price is only going to go up. The only reason for Bitcoin to go up, the only one reason, is for the people, especially all around the world, will be able to content and able to accept Bitcoin as a currency. So the supply, so the demand will be always there, but the supply will be always decreasing. The price will always go up. That's the only one key thing to the longer term of the future of a Bitcoin. Okay, so right now, a price of a Bitcoin is equal and higher than 1 ounce of gold. So that is most likely because of recently there's the improvement in any technology, encryptions, and also in policies in terms of some countries going to accept Bitcoin as a currency other than their domestic currencies, like legit paper currencies, right? So that is really matches what I talk about, that when people accept the Bitcoin, the demand will be there, but the supply was always is going to decrease, right? So the Bitcoin will go up. So recently, Swiss francs and UK and other countries have all those policies and encryption. They really turned around that they're showing that they're accepting Bitcoins as currency, right? So where should we invest in the how should we invest in Bitcoins, and what is the point of view of the Bitcoin's futures in short term and long term? Okay, so 4 ways that you can invest your in Bitcoins. The first traditional way, which I don't really recommend, is to download a software and do it yourself, and you can mine the Bitcoin and you can store the Bitcoin, right? The pros is this is really the original legit way of investing and owning a Bitcoin on yourself, but you really get to know those IT stuff, and you really can be lazy, and you always have to back up your system. But the Bitcoin itself, the whole system the biggest point of view wise, if there's only one system left in the world, the Bitcoin system will be regenerated, it will be kept. So, but yourself, your Bitcoin can be lost, okay? But loss is not literally like only having a $100 bill and just lose it, right? It's virtual currency, all right? It's just like a mining game. So I explain more when I make another video, because this is as you can see, this is me and you in the charts, right? This is some kind of analysis video. So I will show you more about what is Bitcoin and where should you draw, where can you find the charts for Bitcoins, and what are the currencies against Bitcoins, and where should you invest, stuff like that in the other video. So now another tool that you can invest in, of course, it's the Bitcoin exchanges. So there are some in UK, in Hong Kong, many exchanges. Okay, so it's to buy a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It's just like that. Okay, so right now you can check the biggest and most friendly one is the Coinbase. So trading a Bitcoin inside is just as easy as normally what we do in trading and buying a stock and selling a stock. Just like an interface, and you hit buy and sell and you trade it. All right. But the cons is there's pros and cons, right? The bad side is that you really have to trust the body, the third party. But so that's why I would recommend, if you really want to open an account in any of the Bitcoin exchanges listed here, then you really want to look for the biggest and largest exchange company. Of course, there's always risk for people hacking and stealing your Bitcoins somewhere, somehow. Okay, so that's actually the two ways that you can invest in Bitcoins. That is the most conservative, or I should say traditional way in investing in Bitcoins. The third way is ETFs. Okay, so there have been some ETFs outside in the market that you can invest in Bitcoins, but not directly only in Bitcoin. Just like oil ETFs, gold ETF, and ETF that are buying Asia technologies or global technologies, such as that. You're not legitimately holding the shares and the stocks, but you are holding an asset that is kind of representing the price. So when Bitcoin is going up, the asset will go up. And also there are ETFs that you can do short positions. When Bitcoin is going up, your ETFs will be going down. If Bitcoin is going down, you can do it sort of like a hedging. Your asset, your ETF will be going up. You'll be profiting from that asset. That is a short side position, short selling position. Okay, so that's another thing that me personally will kind of suggest if you're a beginner in investing in Bitcoins, because you don't really have to have the hassles in opening accounts and the softwares and encryption, stuff like that. But you can also benefit and expose yourself in the growth of Bitcoin if you believe in the future of Bitcoins. All right. So the fourth one, which I believe most of us in our team or before that, is some CFDs and futures account. So of course, CFDs is not approved in many countries, but it's sort of like futures account. So it's just like ETFs, but you can get to have more leverages. And but in other way, that if the Bitcoin is going to direction that is against your guess, then you will lose money big time. Okay, so I suggest you can play around between. If you're beginners in investing in Bitcoins, I suggest you can play around with the ETFs and also the futures or CFD, stuff like that. So as you can see, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but it is one of the biggest accounts. But I'm just saying you can search Bitcoin, and here you go. But you really have to choose the currency, right? Why? Because Bitcoin is currency. So if that's a currency, if you buy into a currency, it has to be against something, all right? If you're buying Australian dollars, it has to be against Japanese yen or US dollar, all right? So this Bitcoin in terms of euro and Bitcoin in terms of the US dollar, and they have mini contracts and regular contracts, and also you can invest in ETFs. So there are four ways that usually most likely there are these four ways of the investing in the Bitcoins. Okay, so of course if you're more advanced, you can download software, you can mine it yourself, right? So what about the future of Bitcoin? As I said, if there's a higher and higher demand, the supply will be always decreasing, right? The price will only go up. So if we look at the news, and if we pay attention to the news, whenever there are policies and also some news and improvements in the policies in within countries, that they're showing that they're more and more able to contain or allow or prove Bitcoin as currency, or a chance or news that are closer to accepting Bitcoin as a currency that they can trade. They can trade in the country, or they can buy an apple even in the country. As long as these kind of news are more and more, Bitcoin will be going up higher and higher in the future. But there's one downside, is that there's some banks and iBanks, they're merging together, they're cooperating with each other, that are making some kind of new virtual currencies. So there are many famous ones coming out from famous iBanks from US. Okay, so we're not sure if the countries outside are also accepting those newly entered the virtual currencies. Then maybe Bitcoin that will not be that sexy or attractive in the future in terms of profit and its growth, right? So imagine a world with one currency, Bitcoin. So people will really have to hold up the currency, right? Just like gold. But if the global wise, they will trade stuff and buy stuff not only with gold, they can with silver, they have the currencies and Australian dollars and stuff like that. Bitcoin will not be the only one, right? So the alternatives are really a lot outside. So Bitcoin's future will be kind of doomed, okay? So aside of any conspiracies in terms of in the Bible and stuff, so we can, that is something that we cannot prove right now, but what we can prove in terms of nowadays, what we have right now, what sort of data and news on our hands right now. So this is what I suggest you guys to look at in terms of longer term point of view, in terms of the growth and prices of the Bitcoin, So short term wise, we can look at the chart. So as you can see, the growth is really, really crazy and insane, right? But the short term fluctuation is really high, okay? So you can literally lose your house in buying Bitcoin, especially if you are leveraged. If you're leveraging buying Bitcoins, okay? So if you can see, you will see a pattern here. It's a triangle, okay? I will draw it this way. So drawing patterns is really kind of objective or subjective, okay? So you really have to look in the eyes of the market. So first of all, you really have to start with pointing the peak of the wave, okay? So which is really for sure legit this point, okay? So click on the immediate second point and see if there are all more than 2 points of resistance, right? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of 5 and 6, right? So this downtrend is pretty good. And if you can find a strong solid line at the bottom which is going up, that is a good triangle. So this one. Or you can start with here, and you better start with here, okay? So with these 2 points, you now have 3 supports, okay? So if you start with this point and this point, you only have 2. So this is pretty weak. So now, with each side have more than 3 points, this a legit, pretty a good triangle that you can use. So one is the meaning of good is doesn't mean that you will for sure profit from this triangle, from using this triangle. It's saying that the profit and cut loss will be really tight and really accurate, okay? So you can run your strategies and optimize your strategies against using this kind of patterns, okay? So now, as you can see, the price of Bitcoin is kind of towards the upper triangle, okay? So breaking through above is kind of easier than breaking below. So there are 2 strategies. First strategy is that you will start buying Bitcoins here within the triangle, and if it breaks through above, then you can buy another half of the investing capital, okay? So if it breaks through below, then you should cut loss. That's it. That's really simple. The second strategy is not to move inside the triangle until it breaks through either side of the triangle. If it breaks above, you can buy Bitcoin. If it breaks below, you can either wait or you find some using futures, via futures, you can have short positions in the Bitcoin. All right. So here you go. The my point of view of long-term and short-term of the price of Bitcoins in the future, and also 4 ways that you can start preparing yourself in if you want to invest in Bitcoins. So if you have any questions, you can comment down below. And I've been seeing many of you guys saying that English is not really a barrier. Of course, there's hiccups or a hurdle, but I tried my best to upgrade and improve my English. But just one thing, I believe investment is a global language. It's a language for anyone around the world. As long as I learn something, I accumulate what I experienced with, I can share with you in this video. I believe language is not a barrier, and investment is the most important thing that we should will use to communicate. Okay, so if you like this video, please give it a like and also share it to your friends, and make sure you subscribe and like my Facebook page and YouTube channel. I'll see you next time. So investing made easy. That's my new slogan. See you next time. Goodbye.